Well, funny how my last video was all about staying motivated, shooting more, actually getting the camera out. And it's been 2 months since I've touched a camera other than at work. So I fucked that up already. But today we're gonna load up in the Beetle. My son, my dad's gonna come with us. We're gonna head up to Lancaster to a local brewery. A local club called Ramble and Rust is putting on a little get together. So we're gonna go up, see some cool cars, drink a beer or two, hopefully, shoot some good photos. So I'm gonna load up the medium format camera so that I actually finish the roll, so that I actually finish this video and actually upload it and actually listen to my own advice. So we'll see you up there.
Well, that didn't happen, did it? Messed that one up. That clip's from over a year ago, and you're probably wondering why I'm showing it to you. And it's because I got the opportunity to try and make that video again. And I thought it would be fun to take it and use it as a chance to learn and grow for myself, and maybe teach a little bit about how I've grown over the last year as a photographer, what's changed, and compare a little bit of film versus digital. But first, if you're new here, my name is Adam. This is my YouTube channel, Adam Has a Camera, where I make videos of me walking around taking photos and talking about photography for 1,000 people to watch. Yes, that's right. We have upgraded from 20 to 1,000. But don't worry, I will stay humble and I will keep making videos for 20 of you. So thank you to everyone that watches these videos and subscribed. Let's get into this topic. So in comparing film versus digital for me and for this video, this isn't going to be some super in-depth Kyle McDougall, Gerald Undone, super technical grain structure examination type video. I'm going to talk about it more from a practical perspective and use case scenario for me personally. So first things first, I feel like I should explain why that video that I originally set out to make never saw the light of day. And there's a couple reasons. The first one is I was trying too hard. I was trying to force myself to be a certain type of photographer and to make these videos, and I really didn't have any real drive or passion behind them. I wasn't super excited to even really be shooting at the time. I was trying to take my own advice from a video that I had made at this point well over a year ago. I'll put a link to it, about forcing myself to get out and shoot even though I wasn't feeling it. At the time, the film post-processing was a major roadblock for me. I was excited to hold the camera. I was excited to press the shutter button. I was excited to shoot the photos. But by the time I sent the negatives out, got scans back, edited them, I was just kind of over it at that point. And making a video about something that I wasn't really into at the time just didn't feel like something I wanted to do. And I didn't. And I let my YouTube channel die for, I don't know, over a year almost because of that. But I still thought it would be fun to show some of the photos that I took that day. So I'll have them up on screen while I kind of talk about the day a little bit, because I do think the photos are worth sharing and I think there's things to learn from it. So the day started off me trying to make a YouTube video. I did my intro, which took 1,000,000 tries, and we loaded up the car and head up the road to Lancaster to go to this get together. And to be honest, the day was awesome. Like, I had my son with me, my dad was with us, and going to car shows as a kid with my dad is one of my major core memories that I have with him and working on old Volkswagens. So to be able to see my son and him together was awesome, and I wanted to document that, but I also wanted to be there. And I was so focused the whole time on filming B-roll and shooting and, you know, having a fully manual medium format camera, you're so in the process. And sometimes that's a really good thing. Sometimes it's really nice to disengage and it's just you and your camera. But then there's also times when you want to be shooting photos, but also be there. But nonetheless, I walked around, I filmed, I was uncomfortable and, you know, tried to talk and vlog, which is something I don't really do now. And do all these things that I thought I had to do to make a successful YouTube video. And I think at the end of the day, the photos that I came back with are good photos. Looking back on them now, it's funny how much I've ignored the film look type thing and how different actual film photos look and feel. But it's kind of hard to deny, like they do kind of have a bit of a vibe to them. I don't know if I didn't tell you that they were film photographs, you would necessarily, it would jump out at you. But to me, looking back on them, knowing that I shot them on Kodak Gold on a 645 camera, they just feel cool to me. So the day, like I said, it was fun. I was trying to be there. I raced Hot Wheels cars with my son, walked around with my dad, talked about cars, took photos, had a beer or two, had some laughs. And then, you know, we headed home, and then starts the dreaded process of the post process and sending the film out, waiting for it, losing all my motivation, and never making a video. Fast forward to a year from then, and I got the chance to do it again. And I've grown a lot as a person and a photographer since then. And I think we'll get into that as I wrap this up. But it started out the same way. Like, I had to get the car running for this. It was the first time I had started it. The Beetle behind me right now is blown up, the engine locked up. And so I had to get my 65 running, which I only drove once last year. And so that was fun to get to turn some wrenches, but got it running, got the car ready. My son was out with me while we were getting it ready. He was climbing all in it.
You ready to drive?
And, you know, eventually we loaded up. This time my dad drove up as well, and my wife rolled up with us. And, you know, we set out to have a good day with a camera.
But it's not on, right?
No, it's not on.
So I can pretend. Is that mean it's on?
Yeah, just don't turn the key. But you can steer it. You.
Done. Now we can do that.
You want to get out already?
It's a flipper.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing flip.
So one of the best moments happened for me as soon as we got there. We got out of the car. I didn't even have time to grab a camera, so I just recorded it on my phone. But, you know, my son got out of the car. My dad got out of one of his Beetles, and the two of them ran over to this Vanagon, and my son was just so excited to see the Vanagon. He's obsessed with Vanagons right now. And Maddox, what's your favorite car?
Let's go look at it.
The green bus.
You know, watching the two of them walk over, and the joy that my dad gets out of this, and, you know, the joy that I get out of watching the two of them share something that meant so much to me is so priceless. I wish I would have got a photo, but I didn't have the camera on me, but it was an awesome thing to witness nonetheless. So like I said earlier, one of the things that I think I needed to learn to eliminate in my life is roadblocks for photography. And this time I went up with a completely different mindset. And my mindset was I'd have the camera around my neck. I would shoot photos, but I was not going to let it take me away from the day. And to me, what was most important about being there was being present and maybe shooting some photos in the process. And I think I did a pretty good job of doing that. We walked around. My son played with the guy Larry that runs the club that this was all organized through. He actually shoots film photography, great photographer. I'll link his Instagram in the description. But, you know, got to hang out with him. My son and his grandson played and ran around and played with monster trucks. You know, we walked around, looked at cars. You know, I got to walk around with my dad and talk about cars, which is, you know, one of the things, like I said earlier, that just is so near and dear to my heart. And I took some photos along the way. Some of the cars were awesome. This white 912 that was there, I spent a lot of time shooting, is just a beautiful car, white on blue, just awesome. I couldn't get enough of it. And I really wanted to take the opportunity while shooting this car to shoot a photo of the car, but capture the details of what makes it so special. And it's one of those things that's kind of like cameras. The car has a vibe and a feeling. And to me, cars kind of have souls and stories. And this one just exuded all of that, and I couldn't get enough. So shot a lot of photos of it. But we walked around and took photos of other cars too, and talked to great people. And, you know, by the end of the day, we left and it was a great day. Had some beers again, had some laughs, had some food, spent great time with family and friends, and, you know, headed down the road. To address, so this isn't a clickbaity kind of video, film versus digital from a practical perspective, I think you can tell the difference between what photos were film and what photos were digital. I didn't edit the digital photos to try to make them look like film. I kind of let them be what they were. Honestly, everything that's been on screen is a straight out of camera JPEG. To me, the difference between the two is using whichever one is right for your use case and the situation you're in, and what's going to get you to actually shoot. And I preach that a lot in a lot of my videos, that cameras, at least to me, aren't my end all be all. I have a lot of other things that I like to do, and I think cameras are supplemental to that, and photography has always been supplementary to that, and photography has always been something that's been a part of my life through other things. So shooting BMX was the thing. I'm shooting construction for work. Construction is the thing. I'm shooting photos of it. Cars and family and life. My life is the thing and my family is the thing. And the photos that I'm shooting are adding to that. So to me right now, I feel like I needed to put my ego to the side and not consider myself a film photographer, because I thought that was kind of what defined me. And realistically, I'm just a guy that likes to do things and shoot photos of it. And over the, 36 years of my life, I've gotten okay at it. And this to me was a year's worth of growth to get here, and a year's worth of yapping to a camera and shooting digital photos in my spare time, which is something I didn't think I would ever really do much of anymore, has really taught me that that's what matters to me. The being a present father in the moments that I'm with my son, but also being able to capture photos, that's what's important to me. Being able to do all these things I love and record things so that other people can live them back, that were in those moments with me. I'm doing this more for me and for those people than I am for posting photos on the internet and trying to build some reputation for myself off of it. Some of that's great. I do obviously enjoy sharing my photos with, you guys that watch this and the people on Instagram that follow me. But at the end of the day, it's more about the people that were there and capturing something that's going to mean something to them. And that's what I get out of it, is sharing those moments and getting to relive them. So for me right now, film versus digital, it doesn't matter. I'm going to shoot whichever I feel like I want to at the time. For me right now, the digital camera is getting me to actually do it, and I'm more than happy with the results. And I think at the end of the day, that's what matters. So that's going to wrap this one up. I hope you enjoyed it. A little bit different of a video from me. thanks again to everyone that watches, that has subscribed. And, you know, if you got anything out of this, I'd love to hear, you know, leave a comment, share the video with someone that you think it might help. I think this transcends photography. I think this is more of a learning experience for me in life, of eliminating roadblocks and getting myself to actually do the things that I want to do. And I think that can pertain to any sort of art, any sort of building, anything you want to accomplish. Being able to narrow it down to what's keeping you from actually doing this and putting your ego to the side and getting the tools that are actually going to help you be successful at the end of the day. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay crusty.